Caitlin Clark just dropped a major collaboration announcement with YouTube giants Dude Perfect. Their 60 million subscriber channel posted a teaser showing Clark nailing an impossible shot from beyond court length. Meanwhile, Ajawilson's reaction to this crossover between women's basketball and mainstream entertainment has everyone talking. This collaboration signals a new era for women's basketball exposure. The teaser clip that's already circulating shows Caitlin Clark attempting what they're calling the heave, an impossibly long shot that spans more than the length of a basketball court. We're talking about easily more than 92 feet without a bounce, the kind of shot that most professional players wouldn't make in 1,000 attempts. Yet in true Dude Perfect fashion, the impossible becomes possible. I was going to call this one the Butler long ball, but Caitlin came up with a better name. One of the Dude Perfect guys says in the clip before Clark reveals her name for the shot, the heave. What follows is pure basketball magic as the ball sails through the air and finds nothing but net. The significance of this collaboration cannot be overstated. Dude Perfect has previously featured NBA stars like Stephen Curry and Luka Doncic in their videos, putting Clark in elite company. This kind of mainstream exposure represents a major milestone for the WNBA and women's basketball as a whole. Yeah, that is a big one, and that's a huge collaboration. It's an absolutely huge collaboration. So you've got a WNBA star, and again, like the last time, I'm trying to think of, was Luka Doncic the last time we saw a Dude Perfect with an NBA player? Was it Luka Doncic? Or have they done anything since? Because if it was Luka Doncic, I beg you, please. So I don't know if they did a video with Stephen Curry. So they've done videos with Ajawilson, the reigning WNBA MVP and one of the league's biggest stars, reportedly had quite the reaction when she learned about Clark's collaboration. Sources close to Wilson say she was genuinely excited about what this means for the league's visibility. Aja went nuts when she saw the clip, said one teammate. She knows this kind of exposure is good for everyone in the league. Wilson has been vocal about supporting the increased attention on women's basketball, even as much of the spotlight has focused on rookies like Clark. As a veteran and face of the league, Wilson understands that rising tides lift all boats. The timing couldn't be better for women's basketball. The WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth in viewership and engagement. Clark's arrival in the league has accelerated this trend, with her Iowa collegiate fame carrying over to her professional career. But what's particularly exciting is how this momentum is creating opportunities for players across the board. The Dude Perfect collaboration represents the kind of crossover appeal that sports leagues dream about. Their audience of 60 million subscribers dwarfs even the most popular sports broadcasts, and their videos regularly rack up views in the hundreds of millions. For perspective, their most popular videos have more viewers than the Super Bowl. This isn't just about trick shots and entertainment. It's about introducing women's basketball to audiences who might not otherwise tune in. It's about putting Caitlin Clark's name and face in front of millions of young fans who could become the next generation of WNBA supporters or even players. Industry analysts are already predicting this will be one of Dude Perfect's most viewed videos of the year. The initial teaser alone generated hundreds of thousands of views within hours of posting, suggesting the full video will likely reach tens of millions of viewers. The location for the shoot appears to be Butler University, adding another interesting dimension to the collaboration. Butler, located in Indianapolis, is just down the road from Clark's new home with the Indiana Fever. The choice of location shows thoughtfulness in connecting Clark to her new community. Looking at previous Dude Perfect collaborations with athletes gives us some idea of what we might expect. Their videos with NBA stars have included a mix of impossible shots, competitions, and personality-driven content that showcases the athletes as both competitors and people. With Clark, we're likely to see not just her legendary long-range shooting ability but also a chance for fans to connect with her personality off the court. For the WNBA, this represents exactly the kind of mainstream cultural inroads the league has been working to establish. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has been focused on increasing the league's visibility and cultural relevance, particularly with younger audiences. A Dude Perfect collaboration hits that target perfectly. This collaboration is part of a larger trend of increased visibility for women's basketball. We've seen Sabrina Frenianescu traveling to the Philippines and building her international brand. Media outlets like First Take are covering women's college basketball transfers like Olivia Miles with the same seriousness they give to men's sports. Each of these developments represents progress for women's basketball. While Clark is undeniably the center of attention right now, the increased interest in women's basketball is creating opportunities for other players too. Rising stars like Angel Reese, who has her own growing public profile, stand to benefit from the increased eyeballs on the league. International players like Silas Swartz from Canada, who many scouts believe could be the next big thing, will enter a league with far more public interest than previous generations experienced. The global aspect shouldn't be overlooked either. As the WNBA attracts more international talent and builds its worldwide audience, collaborations like this one help introduce the league to new markets. European fans, Canadian fans, and basketball enthusiasts worldwide will see this content. Some have compared the current moment in women's basketball to the NBA's explosion in popularity during the 1990s. There's a similar sense of cultural momentum with transcendent stars, increased media coverage, and growing mainstream appeal. If that comparison holds, we're witnessing the early stages of what could be a golden era for the sport. What makes this particular collaboration special is how it bridges different audiences. Dude Perfect brings family-friendly entertainment to millions of viewers who might not be basketball fans. Clark brings her basketball excellence and the intrigue of being the sport's newest star. Together they create content that can appeal to sports fans, casual viewers, and young people alike. For Clark personally, this represents smart brand building early in her professional career. By associating with positive family-friendly content creators with massive reach, she's expanding her audience well beyond traditional basketball fans. This kind of crossover appeal is exactly what turns athletes into household names and cultural icons. The reaction from other WNBA players has been overwhelmingly positive. Veterans like Diana Taurasi have spoken about how increased attention on the league benefits everyone. Even players who compete directly against Clark understand that her mainstream appeal creates opportunities for all women's basketball players. The video itself, based on the teaser, appears to showcase Clark's extraordinary shooting range. She's already known for her logo threes and half-court shots from her college days, but the Dude Perfect collaboration takes this to another level. The shot she makes in the teaser appears to be from an almost impossible distance, further cementing her reputation as a shooting phenomenon. What's particularly interesting about this collaboration is the timing. Clark has only been in the WNBA for a short time, yet she's already secured a collaboration with one of the biggest content creators in the world. This speaks to her immediate impact on the sport and her marketability even at this early stage in her professional career. Looking at the numbers helps put this collaboration in perspective. Dude Perfect videos regularly receive tens of millions of views. Their most popular content has been viewed over 300 million times. For comparison, even the highest-rated WNBA games typically reach a few million viewers. This collaboration has the potential to introduce Clark and women's basketball to an audience that far exceeds traditional sports viewership. The potential long-term impact is significant. Young viewers who discover Clark through Dude Perfect might become interested in watching her play for the Indiana Fever. They might follow her career, buy merchandise, or even attend games. This kind of organic, enthusiasm-based fan growth is invaluable for a league looking to expand its audience. For Dude Perfect featuring Clark makes perfect sense. The group has built its brand on showcasing incredible athletic feats and personality-driven content. Clark's combination of basketball skills and charismatic presence fits their formula perfectly. Additionally, tapping into the growing interest in women's basketball allows them to reach new audiences themselves. Social media reaction to the teaser has been overwhelming. Basketball fans, both men's and women's, have expressed excitement about the collaboration. The crossover between sports and entertainment content seems to be resonating with audiences hungry for fresh approaches to sports coverage. Ajawilson's reaction, according to sources, wasn't just excitement, it was recognition of a shifting landscape in women's sports. Wilson, who has been at the forefront of the WNBA's growth in recent years, reportedly sees this collaboration as evidence of the league's expanding cultural footprint. She was literally jumping up and down when she saw the numbers coming in from just the teaser. One source close to Wilson claimed, "The location choice of Butler University is significant in another way too. Butler has a rich basketball tradition but isn't necessarily known for women's basketball specifically. By shooting at this location, the collaboration subtly reinforces the idea that basketball is basketball regardless of who's playing." It's a small but meaningful nod to the integration of women's basketball into the broader basketball culture. For younger fans, especially girls interested in sports, seeing Clark featured prominently on a channel like Dude Perfect sends a powerful message. It normalizes the idea of female athletes as stars worthy of the same attention and platforms as their male counterparts. This representation matters tremendously for the next generation of players and fans. Industry experts note that this kind of crossover content marks a maturation in how women's sports are marketed. Rather than positioning the WNBA as separate from men's basketball or as something that needs to be supported out of obligation, collaborations like this one present women's basketball as entertainment that stands on its own merits. Fun, exciting, and worth watching. The production value evident even in the short teaser suggests this will be a high-quality collaboration. Dude Perfect is known for its slick editing, multiple camera angles, and professional presentation. This level of production further legitimizes Clark and women's basketball in the eyes of casual viewers. Behind the scenes, sources suggest that this collaboration came together remarkably quickly. Clark's team allegedly reached out to Dude Perfect shortly after the WNBA draft, recognizing the potential for a mutually beneficial partnership. The quick turnaround speaks to both parties' enthusiasm for the project. The actual shot featured in the teaser deserves technical appreciation. Making a shot from that distance requires extraordinary skill even with multiple attempts. The ball appears to travel more than 100 feet without touching the ground before going through the hoop. For basketball purists, this display of skill transcends gender. It's simply incredible shooting. What's next after this collaboration is an interesting question. Will other WNBA players seek similar partnerships with major content creators? Will Dude Perfect feature more women's basketball stars? Could this lead to more mainstream entertainment crossovers for the WNBA as a whole? The possibilities are exciting for everyone involved in growing the game. For the Indiana Fever, specifically Clark's team, this collaboration represents a marketing windfall. The Fever have already seen increased ticket sales and merchandise revenue since drafting Clark. This kind of mainstream exposure only increases her value to the franchise and the league as a whole. Looking at the bigger picture, this collaboration is part of a cultural shift in how women's sports are perceived and consumed. From increased media coverage to better broadcasting deals to mainstream entertainment crossovers, women's basketball is experiencing a moment of unprecedented visibility and respect. Clark's Dude Perfect collaboration is both a result of this shift and a catalyst for further progress. The teaser reveals another interesting element. Clark appears completely comfortable in front of the camera. Her natural charisma and ease in the entertainment setting suggest she has potential beyond basketball. Like many sports superstars before her, Clark may have a future in media or entertainment after her playing career. What's particularly refreshing about this collaboration is how it focuses on basketball skill and entertainment value. While much media coverage has centered on comparisons or controversies, this collaboration simply showcases an exceptional athlete doing extraordinary things with a popular entertainment brand. It's basketball at its most accessible and fun. For parents looking for positive role models for their children, Clark's Dude Perfect collaboration offers something valuable. It presents a female athlete excelling in her sport while also having fun and engaging with popular culture. This kind of wholesome content featuring women's sports stars has been relatively rare until recently. The league itself is reportedly thrilled with the collaboration. Sources within the WNBA say that executive leadership sees this kind of organic, entertaining content as invaluable for growing the game. Unlike traditional marketing, which can feel forced, this collaboration feels authentic to both Dude Perfect fans and basketball enthusiasts. As we await the full video, speculation is building about what other segments might be included. Will we see Clark competing against the Dude Perfect crew in various challenges? Will there be other WNBA players making guest appearances? The anticipation is part of what makes these collaborations so effective at building buzz. The collaboration also represents smart timing in terms of the WNBA calendar. With the season in full swing, viewers who discover Clark through the Dude Perfect video have immediate opportunities to watch her play in actual games. This direct pathway from entertainment content to sports viewership is marketing gold for the league. For basketball coaches working with young players, especially girls, the Dude Perfect collaboration offers new material to engage their athletes. Showing a female player performing at this level in a popular entertainment context can inspire young players and demonstrate what's possible through dedication to the sport. Ultimately, this collaboration represents another step in the ongoing evolution of women's basketball in popular culture. From increased television ratings to social media engagement to mainstream entertainment crossovers like this one, we're witnessing a sport in the midst of a transformation. Ajawilson's enthusiastic reaction to the collaboration underscores how the entire league stands to benefit from this kind of exposure. As the face of the league and one of its most accomplished players, Wilson understands the value of these cultural moments for growing the game. Her support demonstrates the collective excitement within the WNBA community. The full Dude Perfect video featuring Caitlin Clark is expected to drop soon, and based on early responses, it's likely to be one of their most successful collaborations to date. For Clark, for the WNBA, and for women's basketball as a whole, this represents another significant milestone in what's shaping up to be a transformative period for the sport. That's all for today's scoop on Caitlin Clark's game-changing collab with Dude Perfect and Ajawilson's excited reaction. This partnership between the WNBA's brightest rookie and YouTube's trickshot kings marks a pivotal moment for women's basketball hitting the mainstream.